Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the ESL Open Cup Asia number 201. It's been so many, 201 editions already here, and we have our lovely players raring and ready to go. I'm of course Host Live VIP, and with me I'm joined by the lovely people in the chat, by these amazing players as well. !B in the chat if you guys wish to have a look at the bracket yourselves, because we have a stacked bracket, a lot of matches going on, and we have our first series of the night. Spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Alkione, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Club NV. It is Creator. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss, the blue Protoss representing Maturino Esports. It is NightMare. Here we go. Huh. And this is a matchup that I have been waiting for. Oh no, I haven't. That I've been waiting for quite some time here, as opposed to pass each other. Creator and NightMare. Fun fact: I don't know what it is about the seeding. Obviously, they're some of the best Protoss in all of South Korea. They're top 4 alongside Hero and Classic. And they just keep facing, whether it's in KSLs or ESL Open Cup Asias. I don't know what it is about these two, but they just face off week after week after week, whether it's around the 16 or even the quarterfinals as well. It is, yeah, it's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy that they just face off so often, almost becoming their own version of Hero and Dark, where Hero and Dark, they just also face off every single week. Likewise, I can say the same about Creator and NightMare as well. When it comes to the bracket itself, we can talk about that and discuss the bracket after the series, of course. For now, we have our PvP, and so far we have a gate expand from NightMare, we have a 2-gate opener here from Creator, and this does kind of track on here. We have been casting quite a lot of NightMare in his PvPs and his escapades, and recently we casted him against Hero as well in another PvP. It was last week, ESL Open Cup Asia 200, and we saw a lot of this. It's been really interesting to see. Both NightMare and Hero have started adopting the Max Pack style of PvP. If you're wondering what that is, every other player, it is of course standard and is written by the prophet that are Protoss, that you go for 2-gate openers on maps which don't have a ramp leading into the natural. You know, it is typically unsafe to go for more economic openers. So we have a 2-gateway here from Creator, but NightMare, Hero as well, they have been really embracing this gate expand style instead, a style that Max Packs has been doing for many years, and a style that is now popping up more often here. Of course, we do see NightMare did go for a double gas first, so we have a Stargate follow-up after the Cybercore, then we get into the expansion, so a much more economic opener here out of NightMare. Creator is going to be falling behind slightly economically, but he is going to make up for it. There we go, not too far behind with this base. And bearing in mind that because of this Stargate as well, NightMare, he doesn't just have a faster base, but he also has potential to deal economic damage to get himself even further ahead. Meanwhile, the first Stalker has arrived, second Stalker as well. This is the downside here, as a Creator with the 2-gate opener does have excess production and he's applying quite a lot of pressure. This Zealot may go down. Shield battery is still not quite done yet, but here come the reinforcements. We get extra hits in, and Creator, he's going to be, oh my god, almost losing that first Stalker. Oh no! Stalker is going to be going down. We do have some reinforcements coming in as well. The Oracle comes in to help support as well, and it looks like we will fend this off. One Stalker barely does survive for Creator, but maybe I spoke too soon, because we get two. We get 2 Stalkers in total. Oracle has been spotted racing across the map. Creator racing him back home as well. There's not too much energy left, because we of course did just activate the Pulsar Beam, but we need extra weapons back at home. Shield battery is still on the way, and NightMare is making a beeline for that main base. Is going to be stopping for a little bit here. We have a Void Ray follow-up. Void Rays, they're very niche in PvP. They're ideal defensively, so it's just a way to secure ourselves, the scouts, to make sure that we're safe and sound. As we have our follow-up tech, Twilight Council on the way for NightMare. We have Blink on the way for Creator. As we get rid of this up, thank you so much, Dally Cat May. Thank you so much. Yeah, we appreciate the support for so long. Dally, of course, one of the OGs, a CranKy Duckling herself. Thank you so much, Dally. How many months is that? 66, almost 69. Nice. 66 months of support. That's a lot of months. That's a lot of years. Thank you. Dali, of course, here from almost the beginning of the inception of the CranKy Ducklings. Thank you. Meanwhile, the Oracle is going to be dipping in towards the natural base. 3 workers do go down. Pretty good damage here as NightMare does back off. Creator just trying to sustain himself here, falling behind in the economy, but ahead when it comes to Blink. You know, this is the one advantage. The big advantage of Creator out of these openers is that Blink is going to finish up a little bit faster. There's going to be a power spike here, and Creator is pushing across the map. Meanwhile, back at home, NightMare has a third base on the way. Can we protect it though? We have a pylon in production, soon to be a shield battery. We have an overcharge available if we fall back to the natural base, but Creator, he has arrived. Here we go. Stalker's pushing on forward here again. Creator, he does have the Stalker advantage. Takes down one Stalker already. Oh my god, almost one-shotting at this point. And Creator, he's snowballing out of control. The Oracle doing what they can. It soaks a couple of hits. We pull back to the shield battery. Shield battery still not done. Void Ray goes down. Really unfortunate pathing there for the Void Ray to be so exposed coming from the right-hand side. Shield battery is going to be cancelled. And again, we're barely holding on. Look at the units tab. But Creator, he is up 3 Stalkers. He's applying a lot of pressure to this third base now. We, of course, have a little bit of time to have some more defensive warp ins, and NightMare, he should be able to force this back. Reinforcements are on the way. NightMare will barely hold on to this shield battery, to this Nexus even. Shield battery in production. Stalker's taking a lot of hits already, though. And Creator, he's looking to snowball out of control. Behind this is reinforcing here on the front lines. We do have a defensive Void Ray on the way for NightMare. That will help, but we need time. Do need time, and again, it's just becoming a bit too much. Overcharge is for barely keeping these Stalkers alive. We will hold. God, but there are just so many Stalkers still barely alive here for Creator. Oh my god, so many of them in deep in the red in that HP. Void Ray does arrive. Additional shield batteries, they're still in production. It feels like these shield batteries have been like producing for the past like 5 minutes. It's for quite some time now. They're just keeping targeted down. And as NightMare is distracted, we have Adept shading into the main base, looking for some economic damage. Creator getting his own third base behind this. Getting 3 worker kills in the main. Creator now taking a worker lead. Now Blink is done for NightMare as well. Blink has finished off for both players. Creator 1 step ahead though. +1 is on the way on that Forge. And NightMare, sure, he technically did have a faster third, but Creator not too far behind. Again, just having an economic lead overall, just slightly. What is more important than that, though, are these upgrades. You know, what are we doing with the economy? We're investing into 1/1 even, +1 attack and +1 armor. Robo's on the way for potentially even immortal production. And NightMare, he's doubling down here on gateways. 0 forges, 0 upgrades, just a pure Swarm Toss army. This is feeling like it's going to be a 3-base all-in out of NightMare. Creator, he's taking a 4th. You know, he's teching up. He's going to be taking additional gases to, you know, facilitate all these upgrades. NightMare, I feel like he's going to double down. We have the Robo on the way. I feel like that may just be for a Warp Prism, and then we just push across the map. We just send it. But we'll see. We'll see what he goes for. 4th base is being set up. Again, we are avoiding the gases here at the 3rd base and even here at the natural. There it is, Forge, now on the way. So NightMare, he's looking to try and catch up, but we need more than just this. Essentially, NightMare is going to be behind in the upgrades, taking up in a different direction. I would love to see Robotic Spade for Disruptors, or a Dark Shrine for DTs, some way to come back in a different way to catch Creator off guard and somehow cripple the economy. Without that, Creator, he's just, going to take an even further lead. +2 now on the way. Immortal production commencing here for Creator. The other thing that we could see here is potentially NightMare out-positioning. We could see NightMare out-positioning his opponents. Again, Stalkers are very mobile, and in PvP it can get very chaotic. There's a world where that could happen. Until then, though, Creator is pushing. That's a lot of Zealots. Oh my god, we have 22 Zealots coming out here for Creator. 22 alongside the Stalkers, of course, as well. No Archons available for NightMare. Again, we have pretty similar armies, but the upgrades are heavily in favor of Creator. Temple Archives on the way. The armies are going to be clashing. And Zelce just charge on forward. Overcharge is possible. We focus down the overcharge immediately. And NightMare, he just has too much. The Void Ray coming in clutch towards or behind this army, activating the prismatic alignment. The boys are being pulled. Oh, that's a lot of workers going down. 12 workers falling here. At the same time, we do have a little bit of harass across the map, but good reaction out of Creator. He does pull back in time. Void Ray goes down. And it looks like NightMare, though, with an abundance of Stalkers, he's breaking through. Hey, who needs Zealots when you have pure Stalker? NightMare, he does force Creator back. Did lose a lot of his economy. Takes down the Warp Prism. Did lose 10 workers. But the Stalker army of NightMare does come out on top. Okay, there was only one Immortal here for Creator. Now Creator's on the back foot. No shield battery? Uh-oh. Shield battery, no overcharge. NightMare, he is just forcing his way across the map. Immortals are coming out just in time. They're gonna help. Yeah, we have a second Immortal on the way. We're about to get 2-2 upgrades kicking in for Creator. NightMare, he's just blinking his heart out. Keeping so many of these Stalkers barely alive. And he does have that overall army lead at the moment. He's still recovering economically, but there we go. He hasn't been able to catch up and even surpass Creator in those workers. Creator on the back foot. Do you see NightMare rotating around? He's going for a Zealot Harassing on the left-hand side. He comes in on the right. So far, though, Creator, he's keeping up. He's going to be able to force NightMare back. Whew. And as the armies bounce off each other, I still want to favor Creator. Now he's got 2-2. We got +3 on the way. We have Archons being thrown into the mix as well. Now the Archons, they won't matter as much just because NightMare is going for a mainly Stalker heavy composition. As I say that, more Zealots are coming in. We're getting Archons of our own. And the game will settle for a moment. Everyone's just taking a breath. We're all calming down, Papi. We're all calming down. NightMare taking a 5th base. Creator is pushing once again. Again, he's aware that he has these kind of upgrade timings, these power spikes. They're fighting over the tuna. Creator getting caught out a little bit here. Does he try to go in for the surround, or does he himself get surrounded? Creator, he's going to be very careful with how he engages. Oh, but he's so Zealot heavy, though. And only one Archon. Here we go. The Archons are going to do so much here to the Zealot army for both places. The Prism goes down. No reinforcements here for Creator. Pushing into a concave, and Creator, he's just being pushed back. Immortals are getting caught out as well. One after another, they are going down. And not enough Archons for Creator. He only had one. It went down almost instantly. NightMare, he's snowballing out of control at this point. Yeah, and props to Creator for all of his upgrades. I mean, they're keeping him in this. But some of these, especially this engagement, was not ideal here for Creator. Just losing all of his high-tech units once again. And the reality is that these Zealots, they melt here to the Archons of NightMare. They're just, what can they do? We do see Creator being overwhelmed here at his 4th base. Gonna try to come in from behind as well. But he's gonna be losing this entire Nexus. The mineral line, we have reinforcements coming in. And NightMare, he's doing it again. The base is going to be falling. 15 workers. GG gets called, and NightMare will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. And this is, again, this is also why, like, I wanted to dive on this series, because I mentioned before that Creator and NightMare, they've been facing off a lot over the past couple of weeks. In KSL and ESL Open Cup Asia, they've been facing off almost on a weekly basis, or more often than that, actually, to be honest, because, you know, whether it's KSL or the Kung Fu Cups or ESL Asia, it's 3 times a week. And NightMare has been doing really well for himself. I need to make sure I'm not misremembering. ESL Open Cup Asia 200. Need to make sure I'm not misremembering. So 200, was it KSL? Am I thinking of KSL? Korean StarCraft League. Yeah, sorry, I was thinking of KSL. It was in KSL where NightMare popped off and he took down Classic in the semifinals. He made it all the way to the grand finals as well against Hero. And again, Classic has been popping off against Creator as well. His PvP seems to be on point currently, taking down everyone in Korea outside of Hero, of course. And yeah, he's looking to do it again. I'm here for it. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing Club NV. It is Creator. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss representing Manchurino Esports. It is NightMare. And once again, going for the low ground. So we mentioned this at the start of the game, talking about how, you know, for a very long time historically, it is known that if you're a Protoss player in a PvP and if you're on a map like this where there's no ramp coming into the natural, 2 gate openers. 2 gate openers are standard. Very standard. Up until recently, the only player that didn't religiously do this was MaxPax. MaxPax would go for these more economic openers on the low ground. He would goad the opponent into going for a 1-base all-in, and he would shut it down. And yeah, MaxPax has been finding a lot of success as a result over the years. This season, these past couple of weeks specifically, NightMare and Hero have both been adopting the MaxPax style. Finally, after so long, in this map pool, they're going for these gate expands. Now, I have a theory. I'm pretty sure the reason why they've just now started doing it is because they have to. What I mean by that is, in the past, it was a lot more common for there to be a ramp. It was much more common for there to be a ramp at the natural base. Here in this map pool, only 2 maps. Only Radisson Station and Site Delta. Only 2 maps in the 9 maps in the map pool actually have ramps available for economic openers. So I feel like because these ramp maps are becoming so much more and more rare, that like NightMare and Hero and maybe some of the other Protoss players, they're gonna finally be forced to kind of spread out their wings and really branch out, and you know, if they want to be economic, go for these low ground expansions. And yeah, like I feel like the meta of PvP may be shifting. I'm curious if Creator, if Classic, Showtime, these other big Protoss, Skilless, I'm curious if these other big Protoss players are going to start doing this as well. If they're going to finally just like, alright MaxPax, you're onto something, you know? Where they finally just accept this opener that MaxPax has been so willing to do, despite it being quote-unquote unsafe, and just doing it anyway, and just adopting that style. So I'm curious if this is going to catch on, or if it's just MaxPax, NightMare, and Hero, you know? I'm very curious. Meanwhile, talking about the game itself, talking about game number 1 is, again, NightMare is going for his gate expands. This time, once again, a Stargate first, as we did prioritize our gases. We do see Creator, okay, gonna be scouting. I was like, is he gonna be throwing down anything across the map? No, it's just gonna be going for a later expansion here, moving out with his Stalkers. Talking about that last game, again, Creator, like it was really impressive that he was able to get an abundance of units out, sorry, abundance of upgrades out. He was being quite aggressive, and I don't fault Creator for doing so, but a lot of his engagements, that was what was lacking here, and NightMare was able to gain a lot of momentum, preserving his Stalkers over the course of that game. And yeah, eventually overwhelming Creator. Was impressive, very impressive what NightMare was able to accomplish there. A lot of it did come down to his control. Something that I didn't mention but is known is that NightMare has really good blink control, is doing such a good job at like preserving his Stalkers over the course of a fight. I feel like that was showcased in that last game, but for now, we do have the Adepts getting into the mineral line. They're going to be getting quite a lot of probes already. At the same time, the Oracle gets across the map, but no, it is going to be zoned away. 8 workers. Can we get 9? Oh, can we get 10? 9 workers in the main base. That is almost game-ending damage. 9 workers for 2 Adepts. That should not have happened. This is the downside of going for these gate expands, is it is much more awkward to wall off. It's really awkward to wall off in time and deny the Adept Shade. And we saw Creator abuse NightMare, showing, again, why this is considered to be unsafe. And proving it. And now NightMare is pretty committed. He's down 11 workers. He's pushing across the map. He does have the Void Ray, and can he break the natural base? One of these Stalkers is already going to be going down. The shield battery's on the way, but it's going to be focused down as well. As shield battery will fall. Boys are being pulled. A couple of force fields are thrown down. The Oracle going ham here on the mineral line. Not just the mineral line, also going to be threatening the army as well. Void Ray does fall, and it looks like NightMare is going to be forced back. But he did well for himself. 6 probe kills. Oh. Yeah, the Oracle comes in. We get 7. We get 8. Oh my god. The Oracle barely does escape. Another Void Ray shows up as well. Oh my god. NightMare just maintaining control of the low ground. And we do focus out another handful of Stalkers. Oof. These are some rough trades, forcing a recall. But 10 workers go down in total. NightMare now regains his economic lead. Getting into his Twilight Council. This is a very similar story to Game 1. When it comes to the overall builds, we will have a faster blink here for Creator. NightMare going to be stuck at home for a little bit here. Is going to lose map control, but was able to do enough damage to get himself back into this economically at least. With that, the game is going to be steadily. The Oracle goes down. The Oracle does go down. NightMare was able to see the Twilight Council, thankfully. Not the robot, but for the most part, he's aware of the tech. The Creator is heading, or the kind of direction that his tech is heading in. This Creator is checking for a third base. A third that was about to be taken. And NightMare going to be pushing out, going for the low ground expand. I'll remove the tuna soon. Don't worry. I'll get rid of it. So this was yesterday. Oh, the probe actually not going for the expansion. Going to be moving out and going for a ninja base. Okay. Papi, calm down. Este NightMare. Yeah, we are going for that hidden nexus here towards the bottom left. At the same time, Creator going to be pushing on forward here, asserting himself. The goal here for Creator is to contain on 2 bases, but we have high ground vision. We can blink into the main. No shield battery in the main base. Twilight Council is looking a little bit exposed. Can we go for some tech? We're going for it. And NightMare out of position. We dive into the main base. We look to depower and delay blink as well. 8 seconds away. Probes are going down left and right, and NightMare is having a hard time keeping up. Already losing one of his Stalkers. Yeah, better trades here for Creator, and NightMare's being overwhelmed. Has to pull the boys. It has to pull those workers as well. A lot of Stalkers falling. And after all said and done, NightMare gonna be losing quite a lot there. Quite a lot of workers as well. Creator taking a slight lead. Tired sneezing. Oh god. And Creator probably thinks he's further ahead than he is. Third base is up and running. It's getting saturated as we speak. NightMare just now getting his own third and recalling his probes over. Saturating his base as quickly as he can. Creator, I wonder if he's aware that something is wrong. He did just, as he retreated, he actually scouted the center base as well. So he sees that there's still no third. Now he may just believe that it's going to be a late third base from his opponent, which would make sense. But the longer this goes on, if he does recheck that area, he may even overreact and throw down, too much stack defense, too many shield batteries, take an even greater defensive position. There we go. The Prism is on the way. Going to be heading into some aggression. With this, we can move out. We can reinforce across the map. Here comes that hallucination. Creator, he's trying to get a read on what exactly is going on. He's like, are you two base all inning me? The gateway explosion is a little bit late for that. Up. Hallucination goes down. Creator, he realized something's wrong. He's checking. He's looking. He's checking the left-hand side of the map, and he will come across a fresh mining base, and it is looking so exposed. Probes are going down. Do we recall here to save this? Here comes the army of NightMare, but oh god, this is brutal. So much lost mining time here. NightMare is coming in from behind. He's able to resume mining for the time being. Creator is sending his reinforcements. He has Immortals. He has a War Prism. He can juggle his units. He can reinforce on the front lines. And NightMare is getting surrounded. Charge isn't done. Just now finishing. finishing for Creator. He's going to completely shut down this army. NightMare caught in the middle of nowhere. GG gets called, and Creator ties up the series 1-1. And that is why you do not. That is why you don't get ninja bases in this matchup. Or I should say, that is why it's risky. That's why it's risky to take a ninja base like that. You know, you expose yourself. If you get caught out like that, if your base gets found, then you have to make a hard decision. Do you try to save the base, or do you give it up? And it's damned if you do and damned if you don't, because hey, if you lose that base, then suddenly you're down heavily in the economy. And if you try to save it, you're caught out in the open. No shield batteries, no reinforcements. Just caught in a really awkward position. So yeah, it was a risky move out of NightMare. Didn't pay off in the end, and now we're getting into the final game of this series. Oh, the two. I have to get rid of the two now. I think for the next series we won't have the two now. As we are getting into game number 3. It all ends here on Hecate. Here we go. Meanwhile, it looks like we're getting some updates here in the tournaments. A couple of updates here and there, and we'll catch up with them eventually. We'll get there. We'll get there. As for now, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Hecate, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing Club NV. It is Creator. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss representing Matcherino Esports. It is NightMare. There we go. As for now, we are, of course, going to be settling into this game for the first time this series. NightMare is not going for a gate expand. He's maybe had enough trying to defend on going for a greedy opener like that, and especially last game, Creator did a great job at abusing NightMare. Remember early on, he was able to kill 11 workers. It was crazy how much damage Creator got done with a couple of adepts. So this time, where we're calming things down, NightMare, he's reverting to what he knows best and what is safe on a map like Hecate. I think the other reason why we're doing this is because this map is also quite common for proxies. Going for a proxy robo at one base all in is quite a thing that does occur often here on Hecate. And speaking of Creator, oh my god, he hasn't scouted. Creator, I'm sure, okay, it's been 3 games, and 2 of these games so far, NightMare, he's gone for gate expands. Well, this is looking like a proxy Stargate. I was about to say that Creator, he may be tempted to just blindly go for a proxy robo. Once the Cybercore finishes, we should be getting our tech of choice, and based on this positioning, because it's a little bit far away by ground, I imagine this is going to be a proxy Stargate for an Oracle. Yeah, Adepts are on the way, and there's that Stargate in production for Creator. So this is not all in by any means. This is just a way to get ahead economically. It's a way to focus on dealing economic damage. So we're going to have 2 Adepts coming in from the ground. We're going to have an Oracle from the sky. And if NightMare had gone for something like a gate expand, then he would be quite vulnerable to this. As we mentioned, because Hecate is so large, it's very common to go for openers like this. So I'm sure that's a big reason as to why NightMare would for a 2-gate opener instead. And the probe does confirm this. Sees nothing on the low ground. Is aware of the 2-gate. Twilight Council on the way for NightMare. So this time NightMare is going to be the player with Blink first. Oracle is looking to dive into the main. Is being chronoed as we speak. And so far NightMare's in the dark. He hasn't really seen too much. He knows that the pylon is missing. He did scout. Oh, we wall off just in time. But NightMare, he did scout, and he did see that the second pylon isn't in the main base, so he's looking for it. He's actually checking top left. He's checking the right-hand side with another probe. But he does miss the Oracle. He does miss the proxy. And NightMare, he gets shut down by the Adepts. What do we have in the main? Nothing in the main base. No shield battery, no Stalkers. They're being pulled out of position by the Adepts. And the Oracle goes straight for the main. We get 1, we get 2, we get 4. Oh my god. 5, 6 probe kills. And the Oracle doesn't take any hull damage. Still at 100 HP. We can just regenerate shields and go in again. So just like that, Creator is able to take a 5-worker lead. Really nicely done. Oh my, and Creator is transitioning into a 1-base all-in. We have a Robo, we have a Gateway as well. No expansion here. Creator, he's just doubling down. And NightMare hasn't seen. And what is scary is that NightMare, he opened up Stalker. Double Stalker into 2 more, into 2 more. What I mean by that is that we haven't made any sentries. It's very common to go into a sentry-based opener at some point, but NightMare has been cutting sentries, focusing on Stalkers instead. Another 4 workers go down. And because NightMare doesn't have sentries, it means that there is no hallucinated scout. It means that he doesn't know how committed his opponent is. Now we do have an expansion, so Creator, he does throw down this base, so we're getting a little bit of mixed signals, but we're still building up a really hefty immortal count. We're on 3 gateways as well. Like this, when it does move out, it's gonna hit like a truck. Aye. Robo before expansion. Adepts are going to be coming in for a scout. Now, another reason why we're committing so hard to immortal production is because Creator doesn't have blink. He didn't go for a Twilight Council, so to make up for the lack of blink, immortals, they do make up for that. And oh my god, we're getting more probes. 2 more. 12 in total. We still have an Oracle alive, I believe. Yeah, still have the Oracle alive as well. And from here, Creator is just building up his forces. Shield battery on the way. He is of course maintaining his economic lead by having this expansion. And that is a 3rd immortal on the way. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna move out once we hit up to around 4 immortals. Now we get a scout off. More workers do go down. Trox is being shut down. 4 more probes fall here at the natural base. Now, this scout, of course, confirms the lack or the delayed Twilight Council, the immense amount of immortals that we have. NightMare is getting into immortal production or a Robo of his own. There we go. Blink is on the way. So by the time Blink kicks in, we're going to have, what, 4 immortals? It's going to be pretty intense. I'm curious if we make a 4th immortal if we go for a War Prism instead. We'll see what kind of direction we go in. Yeah, there we go. Immortal production is commencing here for NightMare. Gateway explosion for Creator. NightMare does have high ground vision, or did, to try to blink into the main. Creator is getting ready for it. Stasis trap in position. Shield battery in the main base as well. He's ready for it. There's that War Prism. So based on the scouting, NightMare, he shouldn't throw down the 3rd. Yeah, there we go. We have a 2nd shield battery on the way. I think NightMare is fully aware, especially with the early immortal count, that Creator, he's gonna be pushing soon. And NightMare, he's getting ready for it. He's aware, he's not exposing himself, he's not taking a 3rd base. He's preparing for that assault, but he cancels the shield battery. Uh-oh. He is expanding. He does switch gears here, canceling the shield battery, looking to expand, and Creator is going to be pushing. Are we going to commit? A bit of a disjointed push here. Actually, NightMare is moving out at the same time. As we have units all over the place here. Tag does get eyes on the main army of NightMare. Creator trying to push through is going to be slowed down by those force fields. NightMare thankfully didn't throw down that Nexus. There it is, rebuilding that shield battery. He's now aware of the push. Still going for the 3rd though. Oh my god. Alright, let's go. Immortal gets caught out. Big loss here for Creator already. Losing one of his immortals at the same time. Creator looking to take his own expansion. Prism! Oh my god. Okay, that wasn't the Prism. That was the Oracle. Oracle goes down. Prism backs off. And NightMare, he's held. He has held Creator. He's expanding behind this instead. And in a turn of events, now we're canceling shield batteries. Now NightMare knows how safe he is. NightMare, he's the one who takes an immortal lead. He's got a hefty army. Like, this move out from Creator was just so awkward, where he had like half of his army split up, the other half like trying to push in but also being forced back. Really good movement out of NightMare, just catching Creator off guard. And yeah, as a result, NightMare, he should be okay. A big should on that, because Creator's still pushing and NightMare doesn't see this. Creator, he can go straight for the main. No shield batteries in the main base. NightMare, he's at the third. We're going straight in. Diving into the main. Looking to camp the production. We force a recall. Gateway's going to be going down. NightMare trying to come in from behind. Cybercore looking a bit exposed, and Creator, he may just have too much. No shield battery, no overcharge. Good force fields as well. We have the hallucinations are coming in. Trying to tank some shots. But it's not going to be good enough. We dive on top of the Immortals, one after the other. And again, NightMare was just not ready for this. Didn't see this coming. Lost every single Immortal, down to one. As I say that, can we barely hold on? Oh my god. It looks like we barely cannot as the Prism goes down. We trade Immortal for Immortal. Creator, he's running out of steam, but he killed 14 probes. The boys had to be pulled, and Creator, he will still win this fight. I thought he might just be cleaned up. And it looks like he will be forced out. But the damage has been done. The economy was crippled. And both players, they reset each other's immortal counts. A lot of production went down for NightMare as well. Creator, he's going to be able to rebuild Remax, and he can push out again. That much sooner. But we do have to start from scratch. We do. It's going to take a while. Going to take a while for that to kick back in. Up. Oof. And the dust is going to be settling from here. Dust is going to be settling. After a really chaotic fight, after an intense moment, we're calming down. We're coming down. Creator, he's looking to blink into the main again. Are we overextending here? I mean, NightMare's out of position, of course, and we're going to be able to get some damage done. I guess we can just recall back home. Pick up a couple of workers, snipe a pylon, blink further back into the main base, and yeah, there's that recall, but we're going to be bleeding out a lot of stalkers. Ooh. 8 more workers go down. You could argue that that was worth it, because we even look at the trades here, like, even though, like, what was that, maybe 4 or 5 stalkers died, Creator, he can afford that, he can replace that. NightMare, less so, as he's been focusing on just rebuilding his economy. 4th base being taken, getting back into immortal production. +2 is on the way, charge as well, catching up in upgrades. Creator, he isn't out of, NightMare, he isn't out of this yet. Finally, for the first time in a long time, he's going for his own counterattack, and he should force a cancel on the 4th. Or does force that cancel. Nice movement out of NightMare. Creator just, yeah, wasn't quite expecting or anticipating the attack from the left-hand side. Didn't have eyes on the map. NightMare is going to be the first to expand and take his own 4th base. And can he catch his opponent out of position? Catch Creator out of position here, as he's going to be coming in from the right-hand side. That Prism looking a little bit exposed. Depth shading in from behind. Good force fields. Oh my god. Immediately Creator, he has to back off. Doesn't want to throw those ults away. As I say that. Another bit of an overextension there from Creator, bleeding out a lot of Zealots. At the same time, Adepts do shade into the main base. They get a couple of workers. Ooh, but NightMare, he doesn't see the fourth. If he did, 100% he could have canceled this, but the fourth base goes by unnoticed. And Creator's going for his own push. So he may have bled out a couple of Zealots, this is true, but he's up in Archons. He is going to be having the additional Immortal as well. There we go, fourth base has him spotted from behind! The Prism! No! The Prism goes down and Archon is going to go down for free! Creator getting caught out. Not the first time. And just like that, Creator has to back off, take a defensive position, and NightMare, again, he's still in this. He is still in this. That's what he's hoping for. Trying to catch Creator out of position here, try to catch him out in the open. And it's happened a couple of times this game already. Creator, he's at his fourth. NightMare pushing towards the natural. Catching a couple of Zealots. And the Zealots, they just dive right into that natural. Ace force fields, they do cut off the army. Here come the Archons. But and already one Archon does go down. We have to be very careful with how we engage. Again, if the Archon's able to get some good volleys off all these Zealots, the Zealots are going to be annihilated, even with NightMare being up in supply. So the control is very delicate. He will back up. Going for a drop instead. Getting into his own Archons, which I appreciate. Rocks are knocked down. Creator's going to be pushing. NightMare is racing back home as well, so he's going to be here in time in position. And at the same time, he's going for some harass into the main base. There's no probes left in the main. We're mined out. We do go for the warp in. At the same time, that shield battery putting in a lot of work. We force the overcharge. Creator, did he overextend? We dive on top of the Prism for a third time. It goes down. The Prism falls. The Zealots are getting annihilated from both sides. It comes down to the Stalkers and the Archons. And NightMare, he just has the better concave, has the better numbers. Is pushing on through, even warping in on the front lines. His Prism is going to go down, but it tanks a lot of shots. And GG gets called. NightMare has too much, and he will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. NightMare takes down Creator. Oh my god. And there were moments for both players. It was very back and forth. For NightMare and Creator, they both had their moments. They both had their time in the sun there, but NightMare, he was able to come out on top in the end. He was able to catch a couple too many high-tech units, a couple too many for free there from Creator. There were a lot of moments where Creator, he was just kind of caught off guard. He was caught out in the open, and NightMare took advantage of it. Did take advantage of him in the end. And with that, he will be taking a lead, or will be advancing on into the quarterfinals. And we have some catching up to do.